Hey everybody, it's me, and I forgot to bring my mirror in to check my camera, so I have to get up and over, and yes, there I am. Okay, somebody asked me to do a tutorial on how I did my book, my scrapbook, Truly Scrap Mini that I had given to Jill for her birthday. And actually the person who asked me to do the tutorial was Sharon at Kashazdesigns. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Not that I'm the best at tutorials, but first of all, you select the box that you want to use. And I have selected this. It is a Suddenly Salad box, which is about the right size. And then what you do is you go along, and this may be a long tutorial, don't know. I should have had all of this done before I started, but I thought, well, somebody would ask, maybe, well, what do you trim, how far do you trim? I trim past that little lump right there. There's a little lump right there, and if you don't trim past that little lump, you get a little lump all the way around. Now, remember, it does not have to be perfect, but it does have to be basically all the same around. You know, you're trimming, like I said, just trim past that little lump. Like I said, I made a boo-boo right there. But you do have to have the seam, that binding right there. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm in frame. And past that lump, go this way. You might actually be able to see it simply because of the way the light is. And I've got my skylight, so the sun goes in and out. And the last side, like I said, this is exactly how I did it before, because basically what on my last album, I truly didn't intend for it to go as far as it did. It was more or less just an experiment for me to see how it would turn out. And whenever I mentioned it, Peggy, JP Peggy 2, said, hey, go watch Jenny Belly. I think that was who it is. And she does the same thing. So make sure there's kind of a little lump right there. But sometimes if you go like, with those little lumps, if you go like this with your bone folder, you can smooth out the little lumps along the edges, so you don't have to trim too much. And yes, I loved this whenever I started smearing the Mod Podge. I'm using gloss Mod Podge on this one simply because I had more of it. So there you have, see, what's going to look like a bookbinding. Now, on what I did before, I used this material that I had gotten in packaging, and it's thin, but it's not tissue paper thin. But I don't have enough this time to cover. I don't think. I may have enough there, but I really don't think it's covered enough. You know, the spray, the mist. But this is what I line my spray box with. But I also had. This is a little bit more of that material, and it's some sort of paper packing material that they wrap stuff in. Use that. You can use that. This was also in something that I ordered. It's a little bit darker craft paper, but it's not real thick. And the thing that I like about using this kind of paper is that the cardstock, sometimes when we cover stuff, it'll crack if you don't have a good quality on your cardstock. It'll crack if you have problems with that. This stuff doesn't, because it's paper. It doesn't crack. And this, I think, would be a little thin. It would be good if if you turned your box like this way, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to change its natural bend. But see, if you use this, unless you want it to show through, see, it's going to show through that way. So tissue paper, or that's almost pattern paper like that, it would show through unless you used like double layers. I don't know, let me see, maybe a double layer would help. No, see, even double layer, you'd have to triple it, but then I think you're losing the effect. So if you can find this kind of paper, which I'm going to use this little bit of paper that I have right here. I should have cleaned my desk a little bit better. I cleaned it actually. And that's going to be more than enough, because you go like this. Sorry about that noise. At least I'm not running my dryer and my washer, which I've been known to do whenever I'm trying to do videos. Okay. And you crunkle it like that, so you get that texture. You just crunch it all up like that. And I'm not sure if, like, craft wrapping paper, they make wrapping paper that's craft. It might be a little heavy. But there, that has that line through it, but I'm not really going to care about that. So, that's what you need right there. Crinkled paper, and if you want a little more crinkle in it, go back and crinkle. Be careful. On my, I had a little tear in the paper that I covered my last one with, but you know, it was, like I said, this is truly scrapping. And I'm going to go down right there. I could probably bring it over this way and maybe, I don't know, get a little one out of it. I might do that. But what I did was shake that up. Yes. Thought I'd lost my sign, didn't you? No, I didn't. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I'm actually in frame while I'm doing this. Oh yeah, I am. Pretty good frame. Like I said, my lighting sucks. So I'm going to put Mod Podge all over the shiny side. And literally, it's just, and I'm using you just smear it. I'm just using my sponge brush. And you kind of have to do it thick and do it fast. And it doesn't matter if it gets on the paper because you're gluing with the paper anyway, right? Do it quick, do it fast. You're gonna get sticky. Yeah. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Hurry, hurry, hurry. As Beth would say, quick like a bunny. Make sure you get down to your edges like that. It's kind of important that you have good coverage because you want that paper to stick really, really well. And like I said, thick. Because Mod Podge, as we all know, dries fairly quickly. It's just a form of glue. Okay. Edges, edges, edges. All the edges, all the edges, all the edges, all the edges. And hurry up, go plop. That's it. Right there. That was it. Brayer. Brayer. Now the other paper that I did mine with was that other that I lined my spray box with. It was probably a little thinner. And okay, see, I see some stuff pulling up here. I'm going to go back. I'm just going to go around that edge because you're going to glue it down anyway. It doesn't matter. And your brayer is going to get sticky. But I did do the brayer to make sure that it got down really well. Okay, and everyone was saying, wait a minute, let me get this out of the way. Everyone was asking me, how did you get the wrinkled texture? Well, it wrinkles naturally, see? Oh, look, that kind of bled through. That really didn't cover very well. But it's not sprayed either. I was thinking I'm just going to go back and put this in my spray box and I'm going to spray it. So, put this back over here so it doesn't tip over and me have get kicked off of YouTube for using very creative and colorful curse words. But that's basically what I did. Like I said, you can see through this one, but that's because it, that's probably a good angle for that crinkling, but you can see through it because it was not sprayed. But that's what I did right there. That was it. That was pretty much the long and short of it. And then you cut along, kind of like, you just cut along the edges. I'm going to try not to cut and get glue all over my scissors, which is probably going to be an impossibility at this point. Nothing really perfect. Just cut, 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 cut. I'm going to cut over there like that. And cut. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to be doing just folding it down. Just gonna put some right there, and like right there, and right there. The sponge brush is really good because it doesn't, like that. Actually, I probably should have done just along the edges. See, I forget how I did it even, but just get it really gooky. Actually, the wetter the better, because then you get that crinkly texture that everybody seemed to like. I'll turn it, and this is still wet, still pretty wet. Along like this, like that, and then this over it goes. It's not, what do they call it? It isn't rocket surgery or brain science. I love it when people do that. That is so funny. It isn't rocket surgery. Okay. That's a little. Just trim it. I'm going to have a look and see. What she did and what I'm going to do is you do it like a present. When you fold these corners, you don't fold it too close. It's kind of like when we allow that little extra margin whenever we're butting our pieces up against our spine. We allow a little bit so it bends over nice, but just like that. Probably could have cut a little bit more of that off, but I'm not going to worry about it because we're scrapping. So, you know, just a little bit off that edge like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that. Oops, I already did. Put a little bit and glue that down just like that. That makes it nice and neat. Glue this one down. That makes it nice and neat. And then over it's going to go. And it doesn't, and with Mod Podge it doesn't really matter because I'm going to Mod Podge the whole thing anyway later. Like this. Just like that. And over. Like that. And probably go in here. I hope I'm still filming. Go in there. Do that. Glue that down like that. Just like that. Just like that. And this is probably a little too much. A little too much. But you're going to cover all this. You know. But it's good if you're going to cover it to make sure that it's glued down. And let's go flip it. Flip it around. And do our fold like a present on each side. And fold. And then, see, I don't even have the same amount, but just glue. Whoops. And glue it down. Okay. And glue it down. A little bit more. Okay. Okay. And then, again, just glue. It's under there like that, but that one. Glue, 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 glue. And then fold it over. Like I said, I'm going to put this one in my spray box and spray it, give it a little more texture. Not texture, a little color, because it did show through, and I think the reason it didn't on my other one was because I had already sprayed it and used it. See, just fold it down. Like that. Mod Podge and a sponge brush. Miracles can happen. Miracles can happen. Pam can even do something creative. But there you go. I hope it was all in frame, but that's it. That is what I did. That is literally what I did. And you will need to scrub your brayer off when you're done with this. But just kind of use your brayer, squish it down. Over here, it's not sticking so well. Just scrunch your brush under there. Like that. You got to make that sound too. That But there, like that. And what I did was, as it was drying, I went like that, so it would kind of maintain that shape. But yeah, you can see through. Oh, actually, I can read it well enough to where I can see through it. You can see through it a little bit, but that's the texture that you're getting. And I'm going to put it in my spray box and spray it, and it'll cover right up. Just let it dry. But that was it, people. That was how I did it. You saw how quick that was, and like I said, as I was working my project, I kind of, squinched it and did like that, and then it'll take on that shape. Let it set and let it dry, and then I'm going to put it in my spray box, and maybe I'll show you that part too. Okay? That might be a part 2 whenever I spray it. But gonna make sure that I let all of my Mod Podge dry. That's it. Thanks for watching. Now I gotta touch my camera with my gooey hands. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hope you learned something.